Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going to get into the relationship between India and Pakistan.
Yeah, it's quite something. Two neighbors, powerful ones, sharing so much history.
Right, they were one country before 1947.
Exactly. But, well, it's a history that's, let's say, complex.
Definitely seen its share of ups and downs, peace, conflict. So our goal today really is to pull out the key things you need to know to sort of get a handle on it.
Without getting totally bogged down in every single detail.
Precisely. So where should we start? Maybe the history of conflict. That seems pretty defining.
I think so. I mean, since independence, the big headline has often been the wars.
3 major ones, wasn't it?
Yes, 3 big ones. And they were largely fought over, well, land, territorial disputes.
And Kashmir always comes up there.
Consistently, it's been the most prominent flashpoint, the most sensitive issue, you could say.
What were those wars again?
Well, the first one was pretty much immediately after partition in 47, then again in 1965, and then 1971, which was a bit different, tied to the creation of Bangladesh.
Right. So Kashmir, it really does seem central to so much of the tension.
It often is, yeah.
But, despite all that history, that conflict, it can't be the whole story, can it?
No, absolutely not. And this is where it gets quite interesting, because there is a real desire for peace. You feel it.
Within both countries.
Yes, definitely. I mean, you have to remember the cultural links, the languages, family ties even.
Things across the border.
Exactly. Shared traditions. So underneath the politics, a lot of ordinary people just want, peaceful coexistence.
And we actually see people trying to make that happen.
We do. Think about artists, writers,
Yeah.
people in the cultural sphere,
Oh.
and sports figures too. They often make efforts to, bridge the divide, promote understanding.
That's a powerful counter-narrative, isn't it, to all the political noise?
It really is. And maybe the best example, or at least a very visible one, is cricket.
Oh, yeah. The India-Pakistan matches, talk about intense rivalry.
Fierce doesn't even cover it sometimes. It represents so much, right? National pride, history.
Definitely. But what happens after the match is often quite telling, I find.
Exactly. You see the players, shaking hands, maybe sharing a smile.
Showing respect, despite the battle on the field.
It's almost like a little symbol, isn't it, of how things could be.
Yeah.
Sportsmanship winning out.
Yeah, like a possibility for peace acted out right there.
And those small gestures, they seem small, but they resonate. People on both sides see that.
It taps into that underlying hope, maybe?
I think so. It highlights the gap sometimes between, official positions and how many people actually feel.
Okay, so we've got the conflict, but also this desire for peace. Now, what about the present and future? Both India and Pakistan are significant powers now.
They really are. Influential nations, nuclear powers, major players.
So if they could find a way to, collaborate more, the potential seems huge.
Oh, absolutely huge. Think about it. If they work together on, say, regional trade,
Yeah.
or managing shared water resources, which is a big issue, or even cooperating against crime that crosses borders.
A positive impact could be massive, right?
Massive. For their economies, obviously, but just for the lives of millions of people. Stability, growth.
We're talking real, tangible benefits for a huge chunk of the world's population.
You really are.
Okay, so let's try and summarize the key takeaways here.
Right. So first, there's this history dominated by conflict, often over land, especially Kashmir. That's undeniable.
Got it. Conflict history.
But second, underneath that, there's a strong, persistent desire for peace. We see it in culture, in sports.
Okay, peace desire.
And third, given their current power and influence, the potential benefits, if they did manage to cooperate more, are just immense. Huge upsides.
Conflict, peace desire, potential for cooperation.
Okay. That seems to capture the main threads.
So here's something for you, the listener, to think about then. We've laid out this history of conflict and this clear potential for working together. What do you think are the key things, maybe internal politics, maybe external pressures that push these two nations either further apart?
Or towards actually building that more cooperative, peaceful future.
Yeah. What tips the scales? It's a really significant question, especially for nations with destinies so closely intertwined. Something to ponder.